health and well, everything. At the end of the day, let's give it up for our wonderful well-being coach, Darlaina Rose, all the way from Philadelphia.
Philadelphia this week, LA next week.
Oh.
So yes, I can't wait to get out of this cold, this rainy, whatever is happening right now. I just cannot wait to get out of here. So, for the last few weeks, we've been talking about building your muscles according to Lisa Nichols and her book, No Matter What. So on week 1, your understanding muscle. On week 2, we talked about your faith in yourself muscle. Week 3, we talked about your take action, then your I know like I know muscle, your honesty muscle, your say yes muscle, your determination muscle, your forgiveness muscle last week, and this week, the final muscle, your highest choice muscle. When you think about your highest choice muscle, what does that bring to mind? Your highest choice means meeting your needs from the inside out and then aiming for the stars, right? Aren't we aiming for the stars? When you stop for a moment and think about your life, how's your health? How's your finances? How's your relationships? Your sense of spiritual serenity? Your experiences that you're having right now, today, are from your past choices, your past patterns, your past habits. And so the question becomes, are you happy with the way you're living? Or have you fallen into a less than healthy rut that you just can't seem to climb out of? That happens because nobody's perfect. 99.9% of us have at least one pattern of behavior that doesn't serve us. We eat or we drink or we work too much. We choose friendships that don't really honor us. We react instead of responding in challenging situations. But yet we still manage to function somehow, right? Sometimes our negative patterns have small costs, simply slowing down our progress a little bit. And other times, the price we pay for our poor choices is devastating. The choices that can ruin our health, ruin our relationships, ruin our careers, or even our family life. So, your highest choice muscle is the bounce back muscle that helps you replace toxic behaviors with emotionally and physically nourishing ones. Doesn't that sound exciting? Just allowing you to truly step into your greatness. So if you're overeating to find comfort, or drinking too much to relieve stress, or spending too many hours at the office or at home, at the office to avoid tension at home, this muscle really helps you to choose healthier and more direct ways to satisfy those needs, right? In chapter 5, we talked about developing your honesty muscle, right? If we've gotten used to drama that we're creating in our lives, it may be time to wake up and smell the coffee because it's burning. The message to change direction can come from the outside by the way of a doctor's report, an accident, or from within, or with some variation of the thought, this is not who I want to be. Is that speaking to you? This is not who I want to be. I don't want to be this person. So, whatever your alarm that arrives, your highest choice muscle kicks in first by engaging your honesty muscle. Because you got to be honest. You have to face the truth of your situation and take responsibility, right? So that's what we have to do in order for us to get to where we need to get to. For us to determine if there are healthy and unhealthy ways to meet the needs in our lives. And sometimes we feel so desperate, we just apply some band-aids in the effort to help us to feel better fast. And those fixes may fulfill the need temporarily, but it's not a long-term thing. In the long run, some of these temporary fixes can cause more harm than good. And so when we make decisions based on unhealthy habits, or we try to fill our needs inappropriately, it moves us away from our greater empowerment and happiness, right? So having a strong highest choice muscle helps you really to identify the underlying needs that you're trying to meet, and then choose the best, healthiest way to get to it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So, all of this story is all about, Lisa created all these muscles for us to build ourselves up. And her own example of her being overweight, dieting and exercising and giving into buying bigger clothes, the next size up. And as her body was getting larger and larger, and it was damaging not only her health, but her self esteem too. And so somebody asked her one time, "Why do you wear this jacket?" And she looked at her arms and she's like, "I don't got no jacket on. What are you talking about? I got on the sundress. What are you talking about?" And he said, "No, this jacket of overweightness, why are you wearing it?" And it hit her so hard. And so she started thinking, like, why do I wear this jacket? And so she went home and she looked at herself in the mirror, and she was so sad about that question that her friend had asked her, but she knew that he didn't ask it in a negative or harmful way. He just asked it for her to think about, like, why are you wearing this jacket of weight? And according to Louise Hay, wearing a weight jacket is a covering. It is to hide you from the world. And so she knew that that was true, and she started to do some internal research on her own to figure out why was she wearing this weight jacket. And so she said that it hit her so hard. She said, "Why am I wearing it?" And when she did the internal search, she found that she was wearing the weight jacket because she wanted to create a barrier between herself and men. She wanted to avoid the unattached intimacy that she was engaged in for the most part of her young life. And so by gaining this weight jacket, men 9 times out of 10 wouldn't look at her because she was the bigger woman in the room. And that's not always true either, but that was her thought process at the time. And so she just kept saying to herself, she told herself all these stories. "Well, I never lost the baby weight. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to eat right. I'm just too busy for all of that." And so because she was telling herself this story, it really gave her an excuse not to do different or not to do better. And so she said, ignorance is not really bliss. So do you have a high discomfort, low priority challenge in your life? Or have you become accustomed to a less than ideal situation that you stopped noticing it? And ignorance can take many forms. You may be oblivious to the patterns that you're living in your life that's not serving you. So what is that pattern for you? Sometimes it may be ignoring them, or maybe, you're just by ignoring them, you're just not being bothered by it on some level, like a low grade infection, like it's there, but I'm ignoring it. Or maybe we become so used to a compromised lifestyle of functioning that we accept things just the way they are. But sooner or later, you come to the realization that something must change. And so the messenger that comes with the message can come in a lot of ways. That messenger can come in the form of a life crisis, a serious relationship breakdown, or internal call that you need to play bigger. Or for Lisa, it just came from the words of a loving friend. And the messenger just tells us that it is a need for change, like the heart attack, like the bankruptcy, the children out of control. Like it comes in a way that you have to take notice. Now, don't make the mistake of shooting the messenger, because some people will shoot the messenger because they coming with some message that they may have been compelled to tell you for whatever reason, and people get upset and shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Even if the person is trying to give us this wake up call, you might take offense, you might get angry, or upset by lashing out, to protect ourselves, to get the person back for telling you whatever it is. You want to try to make it all about the other person and focusing on the hurt or anger you feel rather than what he or she is trying to tell you. It could be any of these things, a divorce, a medical problem that finally opens your eyes that you need some necessary course correction. And so we may feel that we've been treated unfairly or badly by the person who is bringing you this information, but don't miss the point. We learned in the early chapters that if we get stuck feeling like a victim, we'll miss the opportunity to improve ourselves. So we cannot come with the victim mentality at all. And some of these messages come repeatedly. They come for a reason, over and over. I think I read a quote somewhere. It said, lessons will repeat until gotten. And I have come to the conclusion that I don't want to repeat none of my lessons. I want to get them the first time and be done with it. I don't want them over and over. So these repeated messages keep coming. And if we keep having difficulties with coworkers, romantic partners, family members, our finances, our health, all of that is one common denominator in every situation that's not working. You know what it is? You, and you. You are the common denominator. Have you heard that statement? Wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. And so it's possible there's something we need to look at in ourselves. Instead of complaining about how inconsiderate people are or how unfair our work schedule is or how high our bills are, it's usually more effective to stop and examine what you are doing or what we are doing to contribute to the problem. Sometimes we don't recognize that we are getting these messages. Signals to change our behavior can come from so many different quarters and meanings that, or sometimes they may not always be obvious. You may receive some things that seem insignificant by themselves, but when you put it all together, they often make a powerful case for change. If it's just the same thing over and over, you get the same message from 3 different sources, then you know that it's time to make a change, right? And so Lisa gives the example that if she gets the feeling that she got too many balls in the air, she's doing too much, and then she gets a speeding ticket, and then her mother tells her that she's rushing her off the phone, and then there's something that she knows she needs to pay attention to, that clearly she's moving too fast, and it's time to slow down just a little bit. Reflect for a moment. Are you getting the same feedback from a number of different sources? If so, it's probably time to listen to what the universe and God is trying to tell you. You might find that extremely useful to figure out what it is. So you just need to peel back the layers. When she was told that she was wearing this weight jacket, right? And she was so upset. She really had to say to herself, this is really not who I want to be. I don't want to wear this weight jacket. I don't want to cover up who I am. This is not really who I am. This is not the true me. But the same old excuses kept coming up. I hadn't lost my pregnancy weight. The pounds I put on after my depression. It's a natural reaction to trauma. Oh, I moved to a new city and it's a lot of stress. I'm starting a new business. It's a lot of stress. I don't have time to prepare my meals or exercise or do any of that. And it's just a familiar list that we all run down when we're not living our best selves or living our true to our true best selves. So when you run down the list, you realize that guess what? That's not the whole truth, is it? Those are contributing factors to the weight problem, but they're not the cause. Busted. Busted. It's not the real truth. So the I'm not alone question is, making excuses is a great way to avoid addressing the real issue in your life for long periods of time. We often start believing the stories we tell to convince ourselves and others that our actions are perfectly reasonable. Oh man, my credit been bad. I'm never gonna be able to fix that. So ain't no need for me to do that. I'm a cash type of girl. I just pay cash. If I can't pay cash, then I ain't doing it. Sound good, right? Sound good, but it must be addressed and handled. And so, you sometimes will find yourself doing everything else to avoid the real situation. Lisa said for her, when she was looking at herself in the mirror, she started keeping herself busy by cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the bathroom, then her dresser, organizing the closet. The whole time she kept asking herself, why do I wear this jacket? Why do I wear this jacket? But nothing would come up. She just kept feeling sad and more painful pressure in her chest. And it just keep happening over and over. Why do I wear this jacket? And then finally, she sat down on her bed and she realized that it was really to cover up her from having these these intimate, empty rendezvous with these people who mean nothing. And so she gained the weight again to cover up all of those relationships. And she simply just traded one pain for another. The pain of being with people that meant nothing of them, to gaining all this weight and now feeling sad about that. She felt worse about herself, even lonely, than she was before from all those empty, she calls them empty intimacies. And so she pretty much stopped all intimacy. She was too ashamed to let anybody into her personal space. And we know that that's I'm not alone. She's not the only woman that's done that. She's not the only woman that's in that position. And so when somebody shares these types of stories, it just tells us that, guess what? I felt that too. I felt that. I understand that. I understand that. So the reality of the place that you're in, the strategy just really landed her in a shocking place, because you gotta, confront it. Once you are aware, you have to confront it. And so she confronted it. She cried about it, and then she started to make plans about it. The first thing she did was reach out to a mentor that she could talk to about the things that she felt embarrassed about, and that is when you engage your strong honesty muscle, to be honest with yourself about your own patterns, your negative and positive ones, acknowledge them. And then when you're ready to move to the next level, your highest choice muscle, you will flex it, because it will help you to discover why you are there and find the underlying cause of our unhealthy behaviors. You can ask yourself, when I drink too much or overeat or automatically put other needs before my own or work too many hours or whatever the issue is, what need am I trying to fill? Excessive drinking, overeating, overworking, and so on are all unconscious ways of seeking approval for love, for power, and many other areas like love, power, sex, whatever. You're doing all these things for somebody else. For Lisa, becoming overweight was an unintentional tactic she used to meet her deepest desire to be loved for my heart and not my body. because you got to look into my eyes, not to my body. The need of the root, our negative patterns may be multiple layers away from the harmful behavior that we want to change. So this really requires us to really go deep into the core and keep asking ourselves, why do I do this? What do I want? And not stopping until you recognize the innermost need that you are trying to fulfill. Why do I do this? And we ask ourselves that question, why do I do this to myself over and over? I hate it when I get here. Why do I do this? What do I want? What am I trying to get? And once you determine what you're trying to get, this will help you to untangle the process of your emotions and how to get you there. So if you're a chronic workaholic, right, working long hours and letting all the other areas of your life just collapse, examine the deeper feelings that you have about your career. Are you excited and enthusiastic about your goals, or are you just terrified of failure? If fear is your dominant emotion, the need to be safe is the one that you're probably trying to satisfy by working. You know, And so the root cause is one of those feelings. I'm good enough. I'm afraid. I need to prove myself. Everything we do is an attempt to address our basic needs, to feel okay within ourselves. Some of the things that we do are positive and constructive, and others are not. So many times the unhealthy patterns or behaviors are like band-aids or temporary or partial fixes. They feel good and they work in a limited way, but they don't truly meet the core need. In fact, they can even make things worse in the long run or even create new problems. These band-aids can create these false wins, or what she calls Pyrrhic victories. Pyrrhic victories is named after Pyrrhus. He is an ancient Greek general. He was famous for winning an important battle, but the battle cost him more than what he gained. So you can achieve Pyrrhic victories by winning in one area, but the cost of the win was caused more problems than you actually gained from the win, if that makes sense. So we don't want these Pyrrhic victories, So gaining weight for her was the Pyrrhic victory. She stopped having empty sex with strangers and all that, but the cost was her self-esteem and her confidence and her health. So she achieved one thing, but broke down three others. So when you know that you're getting to the root, when you start to feel really uncomfortable and you want to stop and you want to quit, but keep pressing forward and face it. Face it, face it, face it. You cannot fix what you do not confront. We talk about that all the time. And there's a reason that you've been doing what you've been doing, to avoid feeling like you're feeling in order to confront it. So you just have to get past those feelings and really get to what it is that's making you feel this way. And when you confront your deepest issue, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. It's not easy. It is not easy, but it will be true. But when you are done, it will be the most important work that you will do for yourself. It is the key to living a life of joy, success, love, and purpose. Even though, we want to really just improve our lives, we really do. We just don't always identify what's driving our negative patterns of behavior. And you're not going to be able to change them until you dig in to determine what is causing this. As you find yourself on different journeys, like I find myself on a fitness journey. I've done everything health-wise. I've changed my diet. I eat pretty clean, set my snacks. Boy, sometimes these snacks, I have to eat pistachios and raisins and all this, no cheese curls and chips and all this kind of stuff. I like cheese curls and chips. So cutting out cheese curls and adding pistachios and adding almonds and all of that has been part of the challenge in this fitness goal that I'm on now. And so in that, I have to always say to myself, how bad do you really want it? because my goal is to work out no less than 3 times a week, but my goal is to work out every day, at least for 30 minutes. And so far, I've done that for the last 3 weeks. I only missed one day. I worked out every day for 30 minutes, right? And I started to share some of this journey. And, there's something that I want. And so sometimes the negative thoughts come up, and the thoughts are like, girl, you worked out today. You don't got to work out today. Go ahead and lay down. You don't got to get up. You don't got to do that just now. And then you got to think about, what is the goal? What is the journey for? And it's because I want to be fit. I want to not get winded, because thin doesn't always mean healthy. I walk too many flights of steps, I'm winded. I don't like that. I don't want to be winded. So I want to work to build up my wind, to build up my stamina. And so in order to do that, I need to work out. And so I continue to do that, and I continue to have these thoughts. I write down my goals. I write down what I want to see. I have a picture of that 80-something-year-old lady, Ernestine. I think her name is Ernestine Moses, maybe. I don't know. I can't think of her last name, but I know her first name is Ernestine. And Ernestine got a ripped up stomach, girl. She got 6, 8, 10 pack. I want to be, that's my goals. That's my fitness goals. And when I get there, I think about how I'm going to feel when I get there. Oh my goodness. How will you feel when you get to the goal that you're trying to get to? That's a weight loss goal, a business goal, a relationship goal. How will you feel in that moment? Oh my goodness, you're going to feel amazing. Because I know I'm going to feel amazing. So if you could think about how you're going to feel when you get to it, is really going to help you to clearly understand your motives. And that's going to keep you breaking one bad habit after another. I'm telling you, I was offered ice cream yesterday. I was offered cheese curls yesterday. I did eat one, though. I did eat one cheese curl. I was like, I could eat one. Because you can't eat one. You're going to eat 10. But I ate one. And I was like, okay, got the taste. That's it. Let it go. No more. And then I worked out. For real, I ate one cheese. Yes, I ate one cheese curl yesterday. One cheese curl, yes. And I was glad to have it too. And I was like so grateful for my one cheese curl. Ernestine Shepherd, yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Ernestine Shepherd, that's her name. And so I just want to be like her. She's in her 80s. I'm 55. I'll be 56 this year, and I wanna be like Ernestine Shepherd right now. That's my goal. I want to be strong. I want my muscles cut. Like, what else do you have to do for your life but to take care of you? Take care of you. Yes, cheese curls are the best and the worst at the same time, because you're gonna eat the whole bag. You can't just eat one. So I ate the one, and then I had a whole conversation with myself. And the conversation was, you want that cheese curl, you want to eat it, but you're not going to be like Ernestine if you eat them cheese curls. You're going to have to work double if you eat them cheese curls. So I didn't eat no more. I literally ate the one, and that was it. And so you just have to clarify your motives, have a clear understanding of what you want to do and where you want to go. And I'm telling you, you will be able to break any bad habit that you have from the outside in. And then, you won't beat yourself up, because you'll be right there taking care of you. And, sometimes when we fall short, we have the tendency to beat ourselves up. Because we failed in this moment. But, that just leaves you feeling more hopeless and, creating this, vicious cycle. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to do things that's going to create lasting change. If you ate the cheese curl and you ate the ice cream and you ate the whatever, okay, great. That was yesterday. Now we moving on. This is a brand new day to start all over. And I'm telling you that every time you start over, eventually it's going to stick. So, and it's really not even a start over. Like Dr. Loretta says, it's a begin again. A start over is like you starting over from scratch. No, you're not starting over from scratch. Even in my fitness journey, there was a time when I was at the gym every day. So there's something called muscle memory. And as I'm working out, my muscles are starting to remember. They starting to remember. Oh, that's right. Elizabeth just reminded me that Ernestine Shepherd is 84 now, and she started weight training at 56. Hey! Thank you for that reminder. I'm right in alignment. I am 100% in alignment. That makes me feel amazing. Thank you for that piece of information. I appreciate that. But what we are working to is achieving lasting positive change. Become the person that you can be. Using your highest choice muscle will first clearly identify the need that you're trying to fill. That's first and foremost. Then it will help you to keep the need in clear view, just like a target. You're going to put your target up there and you're going to adjust your strategy to meet it. And so my target is I want ripped up abs. I want cut arms. I want strong legs. I want all of that. I want all of that. My kids are grown. I got grandkids now. I don't have to take care of anybody. So the first person that you're supposed to take care of before you can take care of anybody else is you. So you got to take care of you first. So this is the way of taking care of me first, getting to my dreams and my goals, because we have a tendency to take our dreams and put them on the shelf, put them over here, put them over there. We don't identify our dreams. We determine what we want. None of that stuff, because we're busy taking care of kids and doing all that kind of stuff. Can you imagine if you had young children and you decided to create some fitness regimen and included your kids in that? You can now take the excuse away, I'm too busy with my kids, because now your kids are with you. So where there's a will, there is a way. And so Lisa found a woman who did something called emotional fitness therapy. And what she did was she worked out with this lady, but she was also an emotional fitness coach. So she was able to talk about her problems, cry, and work out at the same time. That was the best of all the worlds, right? And so as she started to talk to this lady and explain some of the things that she had done, the lady smiled at her and said, listen, sometimes love and sex are very hard to separate. And as a woman, we've all been in that position where we can't separate it for some reason. And then the next thing that she said was, God isn't keeping score. So why are you? Why are you keeping score? Or what happened yesterday, the day before, last year, and 5 years ago? Let it go so that you can move forward, because that baggage is heavy. You need to drop it so you can be light, so you can figure out what you need to do next. So the I'm not alone question is, have you ever confided in another person, especially about behavior or events you're embarrassed or ashamed of, and felt that it released a lot of the charge you were holding inside? Sometimes we are holding our own selves to the fire, but by sharing it with somebody and they relieve you of it, they lift it from you. And so sometimes we need to reach out to that space. You need to cry maybe with somebody, but the goal is to take responsibility for yourself in your life and start to make changes. Lisa says she took responsibility for the unauthorized mergers that had occurred between her butt, her thighs, her breast, her belly, and the way she felt about herself because of those mergers. I'll correct that. I was like, oh, the merger with the butt and the thighs and the boobs and the stomach. Oh my goodness. We know about those mergers all too well. So we want to start looking for win-win choices. Win-win choices. So once you have clearly identified what your needs are, having a strong higher choice muscle helps you choose the healthiest and best ways to fill those requirements. So you have to address any feelings of unworthiness that you have inside. Sometimes guilt and shame about past mistakes or present chaos in our lives can make us feel that we don't deserve to have our needs met. But beating ourselves up stops us from making our highest choice. So we don't want to beat ourselves up, because it's going to stop you before you even get started. So spend some time stretching your forgiveness muscle, You can do or redo the absence steps from the last chapter by paying special attention to the self forgiveness exercise. Forgiveness is for you first, remember? So to forgive yourself completely, you may need to make things right with some other people. And this may mean making amends with some wrongs you may have committed, cleaning up unresolved communication, or finishing incomplete agreements with other people. And this is still possible even if that person is no longer a part of your life, or if the person is no longer here. We this a lot of this forgiveness part is an internal process anyway, and by doing this you really create opportunities to make progress in your life unencumbered by the weight of the past. And so using this highest choice muscle gives you a chance to begin healing the core feelings of brokenness that we discover is the root of most negative patterns. So if you found your deepest need was to get love, approval, or acknowledgement from other people, commit to finding that love, acknowledgement, and approval from yourself first. Sometimes, wanting someone else to give you love, but you haven't learned to give yourself love. You're never going to get filled up by another person until you fill yourself first. We've learned that, right? It's like trying to pour water in a bucket, but the bottom of the bucket got holes in it. So no matter what other people are pouring, it's still not enough because you have to pour it into yourself first. So is your bucket whole or is your bucket full of holes? Recognize that some needs have to be filled from the inside first. That is the first step to patching these gaps, you know? And, sometimes you might want to know, how will I know that I'm making the highest choice? When you're meeting a need in a healthy way, your actions will always lead to a more balanced life. That is how you know. Trying to satisfy a need in an unhealthy way creates negative patterns or behaviors, and becoming a aholic, a workaholic, a alcoholic, a yesaholic, and so on. So, in our urgency to make ourselves feel okay, we often sacrifice the proper functioning of other areas of our life. So, we're not going to sacrifice. We're going to use our highest choice muscle and find out what it is that we need in order for us to be better. Another indicator of making higher choices is determining how much harmony your behavior generates. So, having a strong higher choice muscle fine tunes your ability to discern win win opportunities in every situation. You operate from a place of kindness and fairness, to yourself and to others. You create victories that are authentic from beginning to end. For instance, I'm on my way to LA. There's going to be some photo shoots there. There is a local designer that I met a couple of weeks ago when I was in Atlanta. And I'm supposed to bring a certain amount of looks for these shoots. And so I reached out to this designer and said, listen, do you have anything that you would like me to feature? Because I know that these things are going to go up on, they're going to go on my website, they're going to go on all these places, and plus the people that are with me will be sharing those pictures as well. So we're talking about over 50,000 people that are going to have access to seeing these pictures. And so she was like, oh my God, thank you for thinking of me. Absolutely. And so she gave me a garment that I'm going to wear while I'm in LA. So you think of these win-win situations in everything that you do. What can I do that's going to help me and help somebody else? And that is the way that I travel through life. Whatever it is that I'm working on, I try to find a way that is going to be a win-win for all parties involved. And that's how I know I am exercising my highest choice muscle. So the other thing you want to do is begin with the end in mind. Just like I said, oh my God, when I get this Ernestine Shepherd abs, y'all, I'll be like, hey, when these arms get tight, yeah, we're going to be, listen, I'm going to feel so good. So you want to begin with the end in mind. And, Stephen Covey talked about that. In the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said, begin with the end in mind. And so he gave this, what do I call it? Exercise. And so the exercise was this. Imagine yourself walking into a funeral parlor for the funeral of a loved one. You smell the flowers, you hear the organ music. As you walk down the aisle of this parlor, you see the faces of all the people you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers, all sitting in chairs. Their faces are sad, some are crying. When you get to the front of the room, you see a casket. Looking into the casket, you come face to face with yourself. You're at your own funeral. Is that shocking? Very shocking. So Covey says, what will people say about you at your funeral? What kind of friend were you? What kind of sister or brother were you? What kind of coworker were you? What neighbor were you? Think about the true implications of these words. Let them flood your mind and your heart. Who were you? What will people say? Realize that you can literally write your own obituary right now by the way that you live your life. So, in developing your highest choice muscle, it'll help you to hold yourself to a higher standard. And so, when you begin doing that, you'll start to make the person that you really want to be inside come out. You'll spend more quality time with the people that you love and care for. Maybe volunteer work in the work of your dreams or your heart. Give more attention to your spirituality and stop doing things that you're not proud of. And so, we want to really look at the things that are deeply rooted, that are causing things that you don't want to. So here's the I'm not alone question. Does thinking about what people will say about you at your funeral have an effect on your behavior now? Contemplating death may be scary, but it's worth it. Letting your legacy shape your life is a powerful way to clarify your current choices. Think about it. So keeping the end in mind isn't just a one-time event. It takes conscious, continued intention. Our highest goals sometimes lie over the horizon, and we can't often see them with the hustle and bustle of our everyday, right? But using your highest choice muscle is like putting up the guide rails, or like traffic bumps on the side of the highway that wake you up when you drift outside your lane, right? It's a way to alert yourself if you begin veering away from your highest good. You can get off track for a number of reasons. You can become distracted, discouraged, tired, frustrated, and leaving the road isn't a sharp turn. The change can be gradual, a number of small shifts in the direction made over time. Those guardrails or traffic bumps help you to remember, hey, wait a minute, this isn't what I wanted. I better get back on the road again. And one surefire way to develop your highest choice muscle is to ask yourself, who is in charge here, me or the cheese curl? I'm in charge, not the cheese curl. Is it the higher, more aware you, or the impatient child inside who wants what he wants right now? When decisions about what to do, the alternative that leads you to your higher good isn't always the easy one. Sometimes it's hard. Like when you land in your warm bed and you got to get up to go to the gym or go to the work, it's really tempting to pull the covers up and say, I'm not ready. I don't want to do it. Not right now. Or when you're trying to step away from the sweets and ordering a fruit platter or getting fruit instead of ice cream. I just did that 2 days ago. I was in the store and all this ice cream and cupcakes, and I love a good old cinnamon bun. But I haven't had bread or pasta or rice in 3 weeks, and I'm not even about to mess it up, so I won't do it. I got me some cauliflower rice that I can make the same way as rice, but it's cauliflower. I can also make cauliflower mashed potatoes. You cannot tell the difference. I am learning more ways to get these taste buds satisfied. Yes, honey buns all day long, especially if you're in the mall and you just happen to go by Cinnabon. Oh, it smells so good. You could smell the sugar. You just gaining weight while you smelling the Cinnabon in the mall. It's the worst when you trying to, stick to your highest good. But I passed that test too. I was in the mall last week with my daughter, and absolutely, I didn't buy Cinnabon, I didn't buy Auntie Anne's, and I didn't buy what's the other one? Pretzel Factory. I didn't buy none of them, and all three of them are my favorite places to go. But I know who is in charge here. Me. And I took a picture of Ernestine. I think what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to put it on my phone as a screensaver for a little while to help keep me determined, to keep flexing that determination muscle. The secret is truly focusing on what you really, really want. And that may be by creating a vision board, getting an accountability partner, all of that. So it's so important. So you want to discover new ways to meet your needs and to engage your highest choice muscle. So the way to do that is to, one, become fully aware of the behavior you want to change. Two, identify the need you are trying to fill through that behavior. Three, finding the best and healthiest way to satisfy that need. And four, aligning your choices with your highest aspirations. So here's your inspire action step. Discover new ways to meet your needs. Think of one current behavior or habit in your life that isn't serving you. Now, without judgment, reflect for a minute or two on the need you're trying to fill with that behavior or habit. Ask yourself simply and gently, why do I do that? And what do I really want? Once you have an idea of the need you're trying to fill, the unwanted behavior, think of 3 healthy, life-enhancing ways you can get to the result you are seeking. Now, just as an experiment, give at least one of these positive behaviors a try and see what happens. For example, if you're eating too many snacks after dinner because you're bored, the next time you experience that bored feeling coming over you, call a friend, take a walk, or journal about what you want to achieve the following day. Remember, you don't have to stop the negative behavior. This is simply about making the highest choice. Once you are getting what you want in a healthy way, the unhealthy behavior will naturally decrease. That's your first action step. Second action step is writing down your legacy. Making your highest choice is really about speaking your life story. What do you want your life story to be? One way to answer that is to consider the following questions. When people sum up your life at some time in the future, what would you like them to say? What will they point out or highlight? What kind of friend were you? Sister, brother, mother, co-worker, neighbor, mentor? How did you show up in the world, and did you contribute to it while you were here? How did you make this a better place to live for all people? Now, pick 2 people in life, family member, friend, neighbor, co-worker, right? Be sure the 2 people are from different circles, such as one from your immediate family and one from your school days or work. Write each of your names at the top of 2 pieces of paper. Write 1 paragraph from each person, recording what they would say about you today, right now. Include the highs and the lows. Write the unedited, candid truth, even if that means including details that you prefer them not to remember or say in the descriptions of you. Some things to think about as you do this are your dominant personality traits, your strengths, your weaknesses, your chosen career, your spirit, your contributions to society, your talents, your hobbies, your passions, your degrees, honors, accolades, and so on. Now, write a second paragraph for each person, recording what you think these 2 people will say about you 3 years from now. And here's the added wrinkle. Assume that you have mastered everything you ever wanted to master in mind, and in spirit, in body, in career, in finances, in everything. You became everything to become. You surpassed all the frustrations and challenges in your life. You are exactly where you want to be. Now, what these paragraphs reveal, what would these paragraphs reveal about you now? How big did you play in the universe? How many lives did you impact? How did your children look at you? What legacy did you leave that was larger than you as an individual? This will help you identify exactly where you need to grow and expand more in the areas that you need to that you deserve to expand, and the areas that need attention. Two paragraphs, two friends. One, what they say about you now, and what would they say about you 3 years from now after you've done everything. So I think that is just an amazing, amazing thing. Now we want to do two more things. Grace me a couple more minutes, Mr. Satchel. So zero in on what matters. So using a different color ink than the one you used to write the paragraph, I want you to circle the characteristics in the first paragraph that you didn't feel good writing about, right? And if you didn't write them now. These are the things that you don't want to be remembered for, and the things that you've outgrown and now that you're aware of them. And in the second set of paragraphs, you're going to take a different color pen and you're going to circle all your accolades, your acknowledgments, the words of praise that reflect who you are. These are going to include the honors you like to ensure that's going to become a part of your life's list of notable accomplishments. Also, be sure to circle the ones that you know deep down in your heart or how you want to be remembered. Just clearly, this is where you want to focus your energy and your efforts on all of those spaces where you identified in the second paragraph that is 3 years from now. So visualize your highest choice muscle fully developed. And when you visualize your future, empower yourself to make the changes that will shift your life today so that you move closer to the dream that you have for yourself. So that is your assignment, to write two paragraphs from two different people about what they would say about you now and what they would say about you 3 years from now after you have met your goals. And then you're going to go to each of those paragraphs. The first set of paragraphs, you're going to circle all of the things that you don't want to be remembered for. And then the second group of paragraphs, you're going to circle all of the things that you want to be remembered for. And these action steps will absolutely help you to get to your highest self using your highest choice muscle. Back to you, Mr. Satchel.
Oh, wow. That right there. Highest choice muscle.
Yes.
Wow. That one right there was the last one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
But I need you to do me one thing before you enter this call. I just want you to go over every muscle you spoke on.
Yes.
At the beginning, this was a while ago, guys.
Yes, 9 weeks. We've been on this for 9 weeks. So the first was your understanding muscle, your faith in myself muscle, your take action muscle, your I know like I know muscle, your honesty muscle, your say yes muscle. Don't that get you excited when you just say yes? Your say yes muscle, your determination muscle, your forgiveness muscle, and this week, your highest choice muscle.
Jesus.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Listen, do that exercise. You're going to be so surprised at what you come up with, because when you start to write the part about where you want to be 3 years from now after reaching all of your goals, like 3 years is not a long way away. And so when you say that you're going to be here, 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 and here, you're going to be able to identify some of those things that you're already doing, and it's going to help you to enhance that to get to that. So do the exercise. It's going to be great.
Wow. Wow. Well, first and foremost, let's thank Darlaina. Outstanding job. Can we get some sevens? Can we get give me some ones, threes? I don't care. However you do it, just give her some love on this day of sharing your energy. This was an excellent call, ladies and gentlemen. But more than that, it was just when you think about it, when you just think about it, it just makes altogether sense.
Yes.
The way she taught the class is not just when we look at it, just say, look at these muscles, but understanding what these muscles at the end of the day of just, you always say, well, how do I get there?
Yes.
Well, guess what? I think she has given us a way of looking at things to make us better.
Yes.
At the end of it. All of that she just said, it's all about who? Not the other person. It's really about you.
Absolutely.
I look at her when she says, well, look, I want to see that six pack. I want to be cut up. Whatever.
Yes.
You walk away from one cheese twist.
Yes.
No, she ate the cheese twist.
I ate the one.
She walked away from everything else.
Listen.
Oh, my God.
I did eat the ice cream. That they bought me a chocolate ice cream with vanilla inside popsicle, and I was like, no, I'm good. You don't want it, Mom? Yeah. Nope, I don't want it.
Gosh.
Matter of fact, take it with you. Don't leave it here. Don't leave it here. Listen, I am definitely laser beam focused. It is it is one of the last areas of my life, that and repairing my credit. I've been doing really well getting that done. I have people on the job working with me. I've been very consistent, saving my money and all that kind of good stuff. So I am very, very proud of where I am. I have come a long way. I am no longer allowing myself to tell myself that this is menopause belly and it's just it'll go way soon. It just comes with the territory. Just get elastic waistbands and you'll be fine. I'm not getting no elastic waist nothing. I'm going to get rid of this menopause. So I call my belly is my 3-month baby. So my 3-month baby is now a 1-month baby. So it is working. It is working. So I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because I am so excited about even seeing the progress in my credit, seeing the progress in my body. I am just so excited. And so I truly am beginning with the end in mind, and that's what we got to do. And so, even all of the progress around making sure that my business is a business, making sure that all my paperwork is together so that when I say I am a woman-owned, minority-owned business, that I got the paperwork to back all that up. And so all of that is so important to have that when you say you want to be in business. If you don't have your paperwork, then you really just working a hobby. You're just really working a hobby.
Amen.
People don't got no way to pay you, all of that. So I am just really, really excited for the direction of my life in this moment. And it took me to 56, but some people are younger than that. You could get it right now. And if you're older than that, you can still get it right now. You're not too old. It's not too late. You're not too young. You're not too fat. You're not too skinny. You're not too short. You're not too tall. You're not too anything. You are just perfect right now for whatever it is that you want to do. That's what what I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. That was Darlaina Rose herself. With that being said, we love you. We look forward to seeing you next week, wherever you may be in the country. But Lord, have mercy, just be here next Wednesday.
I will. It's not too late. It's not too late.
Yeah. All right. Have a great day. Remember, take control over your life. Because if you don't, somebody else will. And I guarantee you ain't going to like it. So you might as well go ahead and do what you
gotta do. Yes.
LCA for life, guys. We love you. Have a great day.
You too.
On
purpose. Yes. Take control of your life because if you don't, somebody else will, and you ain't gonna like it. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to know more about these 9 weeks of muscles that we talked about, all of the videos are here between my YouTube channel and my Facebook channel. You can find them there. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about, feel free to DM me and send me a message. I will be happy to go over the exercises or anything that you might need in order for you to operate in your bounce back muscles as well. I thank Lisa Nichols for her amazing insight for creating these muscles so that we can use them to grow from them. So I thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day on purpose. Oh, I'm so excited for each and every one of you for where you will be in your life and what you will create. So just keep me posted and let me know how you're doing. Bye for now.